to the Overwatch Champions Series, brought to you on Bad Patch and Mario League on the BPL stream, bringing you the hidden action that you won't see on your mainstream. My name is K-Wing, and I'm here with Biscuit, bringing you an exciting match. We've got Spacestation versus Sheer Cold, a name that is storied to the competitive Overwatch scene, and a bit of a newcomer on this new trail that Face It and Overwatch is blazing. So we've got a bit of old blood versus new guard here, don't we, Biscuit?
Right, and that's the exciting part. Like, you have people trying to that they really do belong in this scene, and not to say that they don't. It's more like a prove it kind of scenario, right? You've seen these faces before. For example, on the side of SSG, we see a couple of players like Funny Astro, Backbones, Hottie, Sparkrow, London. Like, these are people that you know. Like, if they are in the lobby, you're probably sure that they are gonna absolutely demolish whatever team is on the opposition. But that is not to say that we won't be positively surprised during today's match. It's a little bit early for a couple of these time zones. I just woke up myself, and I hope that all of you are having a great day. But if you're in the UK time zones, maybe a little bit more towards the evening, and you'll find, look, this is like the secret games that they don't tell you about. This is like the exciting stuff that doesn't happen on the mainstream, but the results are gonna reflect right on there. So if you want to see more, if you want to see all of these matches that maybe won't get shown, you should stay around, because we have a lot of talent, a lot of awesome players hanging around, putting it all on the line on this new championship series, which is probably as high as we're going to get in terms of competitive Overwatch for a little while.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of talent on this mainstream. You've got, oh, the kickoff already. We're hopping into it immediately with Hottie and the members of Space Station engaging on the Malga. Recently nerfed Malga, by the way. That Mickey Mouse patch coming in hot and steamy as Backbone taking that pick onto NKZ. Now Hottie and the members of Space Station. Hottie going very low. That DPS passive so deadly. Even the nerf coming through. Beat comes in from Strepper on the side of Sheer Cold on this even fight. Death Blossom from Will gets nothing. It's going to get them taken out by Sparker, and Sheer Cold beaten back again. They're still waiting for this re-engage. They've got their team back. Here comes the overclock from Zyza Exodal. Oh, the 2K from the Sojourn. Sheer Cold might finally have an opening. It's gonna be the stalls out from Hottie, but efficiently dispatched.
Space Station, we didn't even get to see how they got onto the point, but as soon as they got on it, it seemed like they were not letting go, and they were only able to use 3 ultimates. Look at that. It's a fight that Sheer Cold ends up winning, but it's 66% KOing, and that is percent that is going to hurt you a lot. We have the Zarya comp right here, very good at when it comes against the Maga. You have like a couple of the bubbles in order to like stop whatever that Blizzard's trying to do, but Maga just at the beginning of the season is going to absolutely maul you, and this overclock and Blizzard are going to be the questions that Sheer Cold has to answer now.
Yeah, Sparker's overclock. We saw Exodal's incredible overclock. Can Sparker match? No, in fact, it's going to be NKZ just running through the wall to try and wall off Will. Blizzard thrown just to separate them. Will is going to get picked off in even 4v4. Space Station, though, have invested all of their ultimates, and Sheer Cold have built up to some of their own. It's going to be very difficult to engage. Wall comes in to block off the healing. There goes the grab. Hottie in a bit of trouble. The Kitsune rush from Landon to keep them up. Hottie's still moving forward, has the cage fight, just so aggro on this Malga, just pushing Sheer Cold off with just pure unadulterated aggression. Sparker's gonna take 2 to get Space Station the win.
Sparker takes 2, and it seems like there might just take the point off of this. 80% means that you will have another touch where you're going in against the cage, you're going in against the beat, and you don't have anything on the side of Sheer Cold. When you're playing with Zarya, when you're playing to outscale the competition, hey, I want this fight to go on for long, but it doesn't go on for long when Hottie stomps on your corpse, puts a cage, and then you're down for the count. 91%, and we're going in.
Exodal gets 1, but it's traded out. Taking out Funny Astro is good, but they need more. They need something else with this right click, and they can't find the headshot. Sparker, though, gonna go down with some help from NKZ. Backbone dangerously low. Exodal keeps Sheer Cold alive and keeps them warm.
It looks like Sheer Cold is not going anywhere right now. 60%. They are fighting until the dead, and it seems like they just have survived this team fight like perfectly well. But that doesn't mean that the cage wasn't used, the beat wasn't used. Space Station is as strong as ever, and they don't have anything to really answer any of this. Your only solution might be to have Exodial find the pick at the beginning, but that's easier said than done. Moving into the white room, good rotation from the side of Space Station. It looks like this cage is gonna really be a big problem for them.
This cage is going to be a big problem. They want to see Exodial or Yoham with this Kitsune Rush get some early picks, but the Kitsune Rush for Landon is up as well. Backbone very low, and Will's going to find that headshot to clean it up. That's exactly what they need. Dueling Kitsune Rushes, and the cage fight goes in. Will, very unlucky. There's the cage fight going to claim their lives. The cage fight goes down. Both these dueling Kitsune Rushes really aggressive from Hadi. Aggressive beat from Funny Astro. Space Station going in. Sparker with the ult. And Space Station can use all 5 of their ultimates in this last fight. Exodial with the 1 ult from Sheer Cold. Can they find something big, something massive here? Sparker still staying alive. Strabber getting taken down. NKZ switching on the Doomfist to get back quicker. It's trades all the day long, but Space Station gets the better of it just barely, and that's ult rotation.
Right, and just as you were saying, right, you might have gotten hit by the Mickey Mouse patch, but it seems like Space Station are playing Maga like it's still the first time that he came out. Beautiful, beautiful gameplay right there from both teams, and I think that the Zarya, the Zarya compass is definitely working. Not to say it isn't, but that was just an absolute ultimate rotation differential from the side of both teams, right? Space Station realizes, hey, we're at 60%. We can afford to lose the fight and just come back stronger than ever on the last one. And Hadi goes in, literally coin flips his life just to get NK, and they managed to do it. 1 point, and we might just be 1 point away from finishing this game out. K-Wing, this is going to be a really small point that benefits the Maga, that benefits the Zarya, and we're not changing comps. We're going in just as we've been going in.
Going in just as we are, with only the tanks with the tanks and the Mei versus the Reaper as the difference. And it's this aggression that we're seeing from Space Station Gaming. They're taking this fast because they know they can't let the Zarya get set up like you're talking about. That's the main difference, is these tanks, as NKZ and the members of Sheer Cold just struggling to approach into White Room. They're behind on the stairs. The wall goes up. Will in a bit of trouble. Stays alive regardless. The Space Station start to lay their flag on the point. The boop onto Exodial. Funny Astro still popping off on the Lucio all these years later. Backbone takes out Will, and Sheer Cold repulsed.
That's the old guard showing you what we used to boop like when it was Overwatch 2016. Like, beautiful right there. And Space Station are not done yet. They're looking for something else. The wall is going to get them out, and it looks like the fight is over just as fast as it started. 20%. Sheer Cold are trying to come back when an ult from the Exodial, but Space Station are not left behind. The speed is back, and it looks like we have to go back in fast if you don't want this game to just snowball out of your control.
Yeah, but they're going into the Kitsune Rush, and a massive wall splits the team in half. Strepper's gonna get taken down, and Will efficiently dispatched. Sheer Cold are in such trouble now.
Yeah, you didn't even get to see what happened right there. There was a wall, and it was just over before you even got to cast it. 80%, and a Kitsune ready from the side of Sheer Cold, but they are not even close to having what Space Station has. Ultimate pacing is what they need right here. Use one ultimate to win the fight, and that's all you need for the rest of the game.
Kitsune Rush pushed in from Yoham, gets some space for Sheer Cold, but it's only space that's gonna get Sparker very close to dying. Hadi in trouble. Exodial finally finds that first, but Will is gonna get traded out. You take that trade, but one thinks that it's probably not going to be the only one there. Beat from Funny Astro, and you can bet there's going to be some aggression pushing through there. 75% and ticking up for Space Station, and Sheer Cold still haven't staked their claim on the point. They're just now. Oh, the grab doesn't get Hadi because of the charge. Hadi's going to go down, but that ult is wasted. Funny Astro and Sparker both find picks of their own, and I think we might be on 100-0 in this round. This is Space Station absolutely flexing on the members of Sheer Cold. With 96%, you're gonna get one final fight. Death Blossom into the back.
maybe off of the back of this, a Blossom will be taking place on point. There is no more Ice Block for your Mei, so no more Susanna. Hadi's looking to walk onto the point, but this Blizzard might change things. They give the point, and they do not need to take it right now. Okay, when you can play it a little slow, 100-0 sounds really good on the face it page, but trust me, sometimes the best play is the macro play of, hey, we're coming back when we're stronger and we're using our Blizzard and Cage, which they have no answers for.
Yeah, Blizzard and Cage would be a deadly combo, and especially with all of them grouped up like that, they're just pushed back again. It's so incredibly difficult. Cage Fight only catches onto 2, but it's 2 massive players. NKZ is going to get taken out. Backbone and Hadi, the deadly dynamic duo, gets Space Station, map 1.
This map 1 is just, we're seeing taking it away at the front of our eyes, but it's going to be at 2-0. Space Station, the old guard, definitely showing us that they have the new tricks, and just saying they lose the battle for a couple of seconds, but they end up winning the war, and that's all that you need when it comes to these tournaments. However, we might remind everyone, look at the top of the screen. It's going to be map 1, first to 3. So whatever happened right here is definitely a learning experience. You might have not won this one, but they were extremely close on the first map, K-Wing. Like it was toe-to-toe from the beginning to the end. Of course, that last side might have been a little bit not so fair when you have so many ultimates just at your disposal to be throwing at them. Hey, what are you gonna do about this Cage? What are you gonna do about this Blizzard? What are you gonna do about anything that I'm gonna throw your way? However, we have a lot more action coming, and we may just see Sheer Cold come back in these next couple of maps.
We might, but I think that the paramount focus for Sheer Cold has to be this Malga, has to be the fact that anytime that Hadi engaged, the Zarya just didn't have a lot to say about it. It seemed like constantly disengaging, the aggression that Space Station was bringing, forcing Sheer Cold off the point time and again, consistently overrunning their places of cover, their sort of safe zones where they think, you know, if they push in, we can pull back behind cover, we can pull back behind this corner, but they push in so aggressively that Sheer Cold is just forced to back up, and you're really going to struggle. And that's a bit of the struggle with this map pick scenario, because we have the map pool for you already. It's going to be, we already saw Lijiang Tower, we're going to go to Blizzard World next, Colosseo third, and if necessary, New Junk City will be 4th, and Shambali Monastery 5th, if such is needed. But honestly, I think if Space Station keeps bringing the thunder and the aggression like they have, it might not be needed, Biscuit. It might not.
Yeah, no, that first match is definitely like a herald of what's come. And I don't want to say, right, you have Sheer Cold definitely favoring the Zarya composition, and as I was mentioning at the beginning, it's definitely a comp that is going to end up outscaling you. Like Zarya, after the buffs, after the bubbles, after everything, like just the way that energy functions, and it makes it so that you have more damage over time, means that of course the longer it goes on, the more chances you have to just absolutely decimate them. But the Maga composition is gonna outlive you. Like that, this cardiac ability in which you just gain health just by shooting, right? In a comp that is meant to be fighting, in a comp that is meant to be going fast, in a comp that is meant to be in your face, means that you're always gonna end up living more. And whoever ends up living in the Brawl comp is going to be the one that ends up winning. It's as easy as that. It sounds really redundant, but trust me, Brawl is just about the long stuff. Whoever gets the first pick is probably gonna end up winning that fight. So K-Wing, Blizzard World might be a little bit of a change of pace, right? Escort has always been a mode that you end up switching to your Sigma, you end up switching to your Monkey, to your D-Bat, whatever different tank that is not Brawl, because there's like so much verticality, there's so many long sightlines, and I'm very excited to see what they bring to the table, because while I'm expecting Sigma, while I'm expecting Poke, trust me, these people do not get to the top of Overwatch by playing what's expected. They do it by playing what they know best, and we don't know that just yet.
No, and this is I think where in this moment, in this sort of state of the meta, that Sheer Cold has its advantage over a Space Station, because a lot of Space Station is former Owl players, and no, we all recognize this core of Hadi, Backbone, Psycho, Sparker, Landon, Funny, Astro. played an owl. An owl played on OPR accounts. They got patches at very specific prescribed times. Sheer Cold was raised in the land of, oh, by the way, Overwatch got patched 2 days ago. The meta has completely shifted. So all the stuff you've scrimmed in the past like 5 days is now completely worthless. Have fun. Right. So I think they've got this. I think they've got a hold on the meta. I think the Orisa can do something here, but Hadi's on the Winston.
Very interesting matchups. It's not many times you get to see the Monkey versus Orisa. Of course, Monkey definitely in my experience has an advantage. You know, you're going to end up going on that backline. That Zenyatta is definitely going to be the target of a lot of damage, a lot of diving. Your Echo and your Tracer are going to be looking for them. And look at that, taking this white room, looking for that backline, but the Zenyatta rotating perfectly, and you have to keep him up. Mr. President, you cannot go down.
Yeah, Ilpy cannot get taken out, but Hadi is going to be elite on this Winston. These dives are going to be incredibly well coordinated. And now Ilpy again on the high ground. There goes the dive. Oh. Ilpy taken into the back line, but the peel is right on top of it. This is just elite as the Tracer duel comes in. Sparker, the Exodial, neither getting the better of the other, both kind of dashing away. Spacestation putting some pressure on the point, trying to force some mistakes in positioning from Sheer Cold. Funny Astro, though, going to be the first taken out. Sparker, recall forced out, and now Sheer Cold, I mean, they lose a tick on the point, and even more pressure is coming in onto point. They're actually going to drop 2 ticks before positioning kind of has to get forced out. Exodio recall again, Landon a bit low, but Sheer Cold a bit lost, has to get stated on the point. They have this pulse bomb to get a definitive win, but it's going to completely whiffed into Psycho, and Exodial gets taken out. Kitsune Rush thrown in, but oh no, Space Station has found Ilpy. Can they peel out effectively? Yoham going low and is gonna get taken down by Landon, and that's gonna seal the end. Incredible stuff from Space Station, not pulling back even when they had lost Funny Astro, because they knew he'd be right back.
Wing, it was not the fastest of fights. It took 2 minutes, but you need those 2 minutes, and let me know if I'm wrong. You knew that Space Station was winning. The rotation was absolutely perfect, and even though you don't get Zenyatta on the first pick, you take the point off of them, and how do you retake? Your Orisa has to be there to protect Ilpy. Your Orisa has to be there to protect Yoham. There's nothing you can do against the surgical precision that Space Station has in their gameplay, and now they have a 4-minute timer, almost like nothing changed, but 3 ultimates might make the difference. We're moving on to the longer sidelines. We're moving on to somewhere in which this Orisa is going to shine definitely a lot more than the Winston if they play this right.
If they play it right, but it's going to be really tough. Sheer Cold has a few ults, but Space Station has so many. The Orisa is going to be a bit more advantaged here, but I mean, Will taking a lot of damage is already scary. As Sheer Cold, they're holding the high ground, but they have to put some pressure. NKZ is in a bit of a journey, has to throw out the Terra Surge, but gets the Terra Surge canceled out. And that is a lost fight for Sheer Cold. Ilpy just feeds in the end, and that's going to be a quick wrap for Sheer Cold. And you're probably going to see an Orisa swap? No.
I'm perfect tracking on that echo beam. I'm just saying, it's every single time it looks like an even fight until it really isn't. Beautiful Loser's not gonna save you though. Exodial ends up going down, and you're down your Tracer. You don't really have anything. You have a Transcendence to touch the point, but K-Wing, they might just keep it because this is looking horribly rough. NKC moving on to point and just trying not to stagger.
And there you go. Pulse Bomb thrown out from Exodial, doesn't get much. NKZ gets taken out, so does Ilpy, and it's a big investment out of Space Station to win the point, but very worth it in my opinion. That point is deadly to try and get through.
Oh, a beautiful pick right there. Funny Astro ends up taking out a Will, who will trade for Haiti, but 4 minutes. K-Wing were still at the same time as the beginning of the match, as the first point, as the second one. Space Station are just picking them apart slowly but surely. Like these dive comps, you're used to seeing them play fast, get a pick, win the fight, and going over and over and over, but they keep taking the card. They keep killing them slowly until they take one pick, and then they are at the end of the point already. So it's going to be a beat for the set of Space Station and a Kitsune, which will be the big difference for Sheer Cold. NKC dropping a little low, moving on to the point. Will they be able to stop it for the first time in this match?
As Spacestation have been on a rampage this entire time. Will taking a long angle on the backline of Spacestation. About the same in terms of your ultimate. Oh, Will is starting to get collapsed on. Copies the Lucio. I don't think that's what they were looking to copy, but as Ilpy goes down, maybe having the Lucio is going to be good for you. Does get up to the beat and throws it out, but
good beat.
Yeah, big beat, pretty big beat, but 2 ults left for Sheer Cold, trying to hold the line, throws out the Terra Surge, gonna get stuck and cooked, and Space Station's gonna keep on rolling out their long fights, but they're never successful for Sheer Cold.
Right, Sheer Cold ends up taking 1 pick or 2, but by the time they get 1, Space Station gets 4, and there's nothing for you to take back. Ilpy goes down once again, and K-Wing, this is looking like something we knew this was going to happen, as it was going to be just an absolute steamroll of a match since the first fight, but 3 ultimates versus nothing. They might do something here, but I think we already know who's going to be the winner of this third point.
I wouldn't count them out. Yoham has to fall back into spawn. Ilpy in a bit of trouble. Hadi pops the Primal Rage and just beats them all away from the card. Are they gonna force the C9? Even though with the Transcendence trying to touch the point, they can't just get everyone off the point, but they can separate them incredibly well. And 2 minutes on the time bank on Blizzard World is a statement, Biscuit. A statement from Space Station.
You do not see these kinds of timers very often. Like, these are just dominant teams that are here to play. They are here to take everything that they can take away from you. And Space Station, I will highlight once again, I am impressed. Like, of course, you see these names on the Overwatch custom lobby, K-Wing, and you're expecting something awesome. And of course, you get it. Like, still just seeing it happen in front of your eyes is impressive. Like, they were able to win fights without even getting picks. Here's their macro, their positioning, like, hey, I'm taking this point slowly away from you, so while your team might not be dying, while you might be peeling them away from me, you have to come to me eventually. So NKC moving on to the D.Va. This is a very interesting tank to pick on the attack. D.Va usually seen a little bit more on the defense, because it's able to eat every single bit of damage that gets thrown on your way, unless like a Winston. And the Winston and on the other side, right, if they end up jumping into you, those automated shotguns are just gonna absolutely turn you into paper mache. So while the comp might be a little unconventional, maybe on the wrong side of the map, I think that it could definitely work to counter what Hadi is trying to do, and to counter all the damage that Seikon Sparker are throwing to the way of Ilpy and Yoham, because it's just too much. It's overwhelming. 5 seconds, K-Wing. Will they redeem themselves? Would they even make it to the third point? I believe that they could.
Sheer Cold needs something massive here as the TP comes out. Exodial switching on to the Tracer. So again, it's this difference of the Zen versus the Lucio, a dive-level backline. Sheer Cold have done a good job protecting it, but haven't really done a good job actually attacking Space Station and actually finding the picks. They've always been reactive. They've always been reacting to the pace set by Space Station. We've seen this the entire time. You know, can they set their own pace? As Sheer Cold, they need to engage, and they're going to look for this opening, as Will taking that high angle, has some shots onto Funny Astro, but just poking out for now, as it's already been about 30 seconds since this engage happened. We've just been in the poke phase, just waiting, charging up Will's copy, admittedly, but just pushing forward incrementally, very slowly from Sheer Cold, and just still just not committing as hard. They can't really commit into the backline the same way that you see exactly there onto Ilpy. Ilpy able to escape with a shred of HP, nearly getting taken down by the focusing beam. But this is what we're talking about from Sheer Cold. It's just, you know, a minute and a half into the round now, and we're only just barely touching the point in this fight. Ilpy gets caught out. The TP Suzu isn't quick enough Funny Astro going to get traded out, so it is an even 4v4 now. Copy out from Will, close to the Primal Rage. There's the Kitsune rush from Yoham, but Will's going to get taken out from the focusing beam mid-air. Psycho just countering Will out. Exodial takes out Hottie. Exodial does get 2. Can this Tracer get anything more? The Diva Bomb to zone off the point, but Space Station Gaming is right back into it. Biscuit, this has been going on for so long, but I think Space Station, after 2 minutes of one fight, has finally picked up the win as well. The Copy's coming in to get some recontested, and Biscuit, take us through it. I'm running out of voice.
Oh my god, I know. It's been a 2-minute and 30-second fight, and it seems that it's slowing down at any single pace. LP will be getting close to that transcendence, but they wouldn't get it. The backline's up.
No.
This will be the end of Sheer Cold. K-Wing, I was so committed. I was so happy. I thought they could do it, but in the end, Hottie comes back, and with him, it's going to be the point. 1 minute and 20 seconds. K-Wing, you said something, and I think it perfectly describes it. Sheer Cold are just reacting, and that's the only thing you're able to do with Diva. You cannot be proactive, because the second you use your boosters, they're just a big, slow walking monster instead of the 2-second jumping machine that the Winston is. 1 minute left for you to control the pace of this match, but you might not be able to do it if you don't get some of those ultimates back. So Exodial, you need to get that pulse bomb and get something massive, because that's your last chance to doing something on this first point.
It really is your last chance here, and we've not seen a lot of success out of these ultimates from Sheer Cold. Exodial, we've seen some from that pulse bomb, needs to find something massive here now. NKZ gonna get DMAC early. That's a really bad start. The Transcendence from Ilpi comes too late. The stick has to draw out the Suzu from Yoham. Is near the Kitsune rush, but there's going to be no one there to rush inside it, as with 20 seconds left, late picture going to be devastating, and Yoham's going to get taken out. This is bad news for Sheer Cold.
It's a team kill, 13 seconds, and the only person that can even try to touch point is going to be NKC or Exodial, but they just might not be able to do it. 10 seconds, K, when the warning is out there, but you're getting stuck in this room, you're getting beamed down, and I don't think, oh, you think you managed to touch the point?
They do manage to touch the point, but there's no one else there to support NKZ, who's going to get taken down. And Space Station, call them a janitor at a grocery store, because they just cleaned up.
That was a Blizzard Wolf to remember. Like that, if you ever scrim the game, I think you should look at that bot. Like, you just look at that Hottie Winston. Look at how they can win without even killing people. Like, NA could never. And this is it. Like, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is how you're supposed to play Overwatch. Like, not for the picks, but like those slow, like that slow positioning, that insidious, hey, I'm taking the point, I'm pressuring you to come to me, I'm making it scary to even come to me. Like that was what we just saw right there on Space Station. 1 game away from taking it all home. K-Wing, this is not looking close, but again, that old guard definitely showing that they got some new tricks under their sleeves.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, Space Station, like we were talking about, a newer name to the scene, but you know, these older players that you're talking about, you know, Hottie, Back, Funny Astro, these venerated players, these players that have been playing for so incredibly long. Sheer Cold, no slouches themselves either, but Space Station Gaming as a team is a bit new onto the scene, and I have to admit, if you're a Space Station Gaming fan, or potentially someone who works at Space Station Gaming, you're definitely happy with the team you've picked up here, just because of how incredible they're performing. That you didn't have to do that to Exodial replay team. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate you showing us the first replay being Exodial taking that tumble off the map. I appreciate the game, as you saw Space Station getting taken out there, or taken out there, and it's just rough. you know, NKZ a bit out of position, and that's all that takes. It's just these small plays, these really incredible timings from your supports, from your Suzus, from your pulse bombs. These players are on the cutting edge of Overwatch, and it is a joy to watch. I don't know about you, Biscuit, but I am having the time of my life watching this. It is smooth as butter. Even Sheer Cold, even the team that is getting really taken to task, still playing incredibly well.
Right, Sheer Cold definitely did a good job at that beginning of the point, right? I think it's definitely like you cannot pick the D.Va on attack without like having a really good plan, or expecting Hottie to just jump into 5 and get absolutely demolished from there. And that's just not going to happen. But what is going to happen is going to be our map 3. We might not see Shambali, we might not see a map 4, we don't know yet, but do not count them out, because trust me, I've seen worse comebacks. I've seen teams that looks like they're AFK by the second map, and then on the third map they just turn it up, because you know what, we're moving on to push K-Wing, and this game mode is all about momentum. When the game came out, when we had like this massive patch of, hey, you're gonna have a new mode about just pushing a little robot around the screen, it was always said, hey, the team that wins the first fight is going to be the one that ends up winning. And this is the kind of hope that you need if you're Sheer Cold. They are moving on to the Orisa, a comp that will do a real good job at just countering what Hottie's trying to do on the Winston or the Junker King, whatever they're trying to pick. But it's going to be dive versus brawl. What will be the changes here? What does Sheer Cold need to do? You need this first sight. This is a momentum game base mode, and just getting that will be the first step to a long series of winning fights, hopefully.
And there is a lot of there's a lot of reasons behind that, and it's because of ult snowball, it's because of winning the second fight, getting to that checkpoint as well, getting past that archway. As now Spacestation Gaming taking a bit of aggression, you want to see Sheer Cold really match this aggression toe to toe, as Hottie and the rest of Spacestation should be the ones playing a bit more passive, and NKZ should be the ones getting in your face, as that damage from Sparker is so scary. Sheer Cold, it feels like they're being squeezed into this corner, just taken out of the ditch that you normally see these fights happen in, that you normally see this remove the glass fight coming in. The Space Station just a minute in, and already there comes the first pick onto Psycho. That's a good start for Sheer Cold, and you want to see the aggression here. You want to see them play with the engage, but they're not taking the decisive win.
That's exactly what you needed, at least, K-Wing. It might not be decisive, but it will give you the first couple of meters, and just a couple of meters will be the difference in the push game. But NKC is just playing two different battles at the same time during that entire time, but a huge javelin will end up taking out the Echo. It will take out a lot of aggression from your side, 80% until you get that overclock, and you will be able to just absolutely put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, but it's gonna be Space Station beating you to the punch and putting the pedal to the metal, and they're gonna run over NKZ, and will just caught behind enemy lines. Not gonna be there for long, as Space Station will take back the lead, and you best believe they're gonna take it decisively.
NKC gets disconnected from the team, and Hottie, the second they see that, Kaylin, you will not let me lie. That's the thing, that you just press that big E bubble button, and you don't get any more heals. You don't get anything from your side. But 5 ultimates is what you're going to have to retake this point, and just using a couple of them is what you want. That's a pulse bomb. It doesn't find anything, but Hottie's in.
Hottie's in, but so is NKZ in the back line, but Strebber is going to get taken out. This is really aggressive from NKZ. It's not going to pay off. They can't get the pick on a Funny Astro. They can't get any sort of turn back, and Sheer Cold are being pressed into their spawn.
Once again, it looks like NKC overextends a little bit, and on this composition, there's no way for you to come back without having to deal through 5 members of Space Station, 60 meters K-Wing, and even though they are fighting, they are still pushing bot. This is what Space Station was made for.
Oh, Exodio can't get the jump into the room, and so this ult is gonna really suffer. Funny Astro does get taken out. NKZ going in aggressive, but the team does actually seem to be behind them at this point, and so they turn it around.
They turn it around, but K-Wing, that's 65 meters that you have to go through. At least 2 fights that you have to win to even break even what Space Station was able to do during the minutes of this match. And oh my god, Seiko gets the pick without even batting an eye at Joham's healing.
Yeah, just gets that pick, and the Tracer 1v1 doesn't look at Joham And there you go. I mean, now Sheer Cold's on the back foot again, and they're throwing in the dueling Kitsune rushes, nearly taking out Landon, but it's not enough. Seiko, Hiccup, Strapper, both Lucio's gone, and I think Funny Astro might have gotten the beat canceled out. Space Station in a bit of trouble, but hey, you're never in trouble when you got Sparker on the Sojourn. Clean in house. Goodbye, Hottie.
Hottie ends up going down, but I don't think it will make a difference. It's going to be 5 minutes and 45 seconds and a checkpoint to the name of Space Station. K-Wing, again, it's just like this beautiful planned out orchestra of what they want to do on Space Station. It might seem like they are losing the battle, but they always win the war. Seiko needs to get out because Hottie's not there for the team, and they just, in a couple of seconds, they are not even there, and they're already planning their next attack. A pulse one that is really insidious coming to the way of Sheercold.
And we've seen how scary these pulse bombs from these tracers can be. We've seen how good Seiko can just drop it in. Strapper's gonna get taken out. Sparker is just elite when it comes to this Sojourn, has been carrying so incredibly effectively, and this is just a lot of trouble now for Sheer Cold as they pass the halfway mark. They haven't been able to start their engine.
And a lot of trouble has been definitely the definition of this game. 78 meters, and the bot is going to keep on moving. They fight and they move the bot at the same time. I don't know how they're able to do this so constantly, but oh my god, Trevor, you need to save them. Exodio, first pick.
Yeah, but Spark and Psycho is going to take out Johan with a pulse bomb. It's incredible, both the Sojourns, both the Kirikos getting taken out, but Seiko on the Tracer, just going through Hottie on the Winston, going to throw NKZ off the map, and NKZ ults. NKZ tries to drag Hottie down with the Terra Surge, but it doesn't work out. Hottie's primal raging.
NKC, you know, they had to go for a TikTok clip. If it works, it's one for posterity, right? Who knows? And this overclock might just do the same. K-Wing, it's slowly slipping away from them, but the Junker Queen switch will definitely be a little bit of a struggle again for Hottie.
Yeah, the Junker Queen switch is going to be a really big struggle. Landon, though, going to go down. Exodial fighting for their lives here, surrounded on all fronts. And Space Station again finding these picks, taking out Yoham, and the bot is just gonna keep on moving. This is dangerous, and the Junker Queen is still in no man's land.
NKC just doesn't find the stairs. They're not able to go up, and by that time Seiko manages to find Trevor. No more speed, no more easy engages for you, my friend. Seiko dropping extremely low, but that helpback is going to keep them up, and they don't even lose a member other than Hottie, and Hottie is more than ready to come back for another fight. K-Wing, it's slowly slipping away from in between their fingers.
Oh, it's starting to slip a lot faster. Exodial getting taken out. The bot's gonna start reversing course. Sparker getting taken down. There goes the pulse bomb. Good night, NKZ. Seiko, he don't miss. He don't miss. There's nothing else to say other than he don't miss.
I don't want to say anything, K-Wing, but once you're casting like X Owl people, you see those pulse bombs and you think it's easy, but no, that's like some master level stuff right there. Absolutely planned out to a T. And Hottie has a primal 115 meters. We're slowly approaching the end of the game. Seiko typing in chat, well, man, I managed to get something in, but Exodo goes down, and this might be the beginning of the end.
It really might be a Space Station pushing into the spawns. Nothing really, both beats up for these teams. Sheer Cold need to charge up, but NKC goes down first. Funny Astro throws in the beat, and you bet your patootie there's gonna be some aggression thrown in. What a boop from Funny Astro. Trevor's beat lands onto no one because Funny Astro booped him into the spawn. It's an incredible play to cap off an incredible showing from Space Station. 3-0 over Sheer Cold, sending a message to the rest of the OWCS.
You know, the real Sheer Cold was that boop. That was a Sheer Cold boop right there. A beautiful play to cap off a beautiful set from Space Station. I know we framed it as, you know, we have this new players against like the old guard, and this old guard showing why they are old and why they've been here for a long time. K-Wing, I'm sorry to say, like, at the beginning, Lijiang is so close. Like, it's just, you can see like these glimmers of hope. Hey, they could take it away on the first one. That second point not as close, and then Escort and Push were just not even close. Like, that is just Space Station on a masterclass of how to play the dive, of how to even like just never lose a team member. And when you lose a team member, trade it for 4. Like, who cares, right? Just kill them, just click on their heads, you end up winning the fight. And that's exactly what they do. It was an absolute riot to watch, and I'm so happy to see that, you know, some of these players are just still as strong as ever.
Strong as ever. I mean, I am stunned, I tell you, at the skill that we saw coming out of Space Station. Sheer Cold are no slouches when it comes to this game. When it comes to EU contenders, they did fairly well. They were fairly elite, and it makes you wonder for the other contenders teams in this bracket, in this entire series, what is it coming to? How are you going to be able to counteract a team that is this incredibly good at the game? I mean, I'm stunned. Like, I am just stunned for teams like Oblivione, for teams like Team Peps, Twisted Minds. How do you deal with Space Station? How do you deal with just such elite team play and such incredible skill, both on the individual level, from what you would normally think of as very low skill expression heroes, what you would think of even in this first composition, Space Station saying, hey, low skill expression heroes doesn't mean we can't show our stripes.
Right. And that's exactly like the marking of a great team. You're able to make Maga look like an absolute, like you're able to give this team a showing of, hey, you might consider Maga a bad pick, you might consider him something easy, but I'm gonna show you what I can really do with what I'm given, right? A beautiful stick right there from Soccer. And you gotta keep wondering, hey, BPL team, what do we mean by showing Exodial falling off the map 2 times in a row? Like, yeah, you don't have to do them like that, but I guess you have to. Beautiful picture right there from Seiko. And I think that maps like this Blizzard World K-Wing, you know, I'm a color caster, I'm a fan of like the small details, and that was just a beautiful game right there. Like, that's something to rewatch. Yoham, look at this. They try to heal and they don't even get the time. Like, this was definitely all about, hey, I've seen these teams before, K-Wing, Sheer Cold, Oblivione, just as you were mentioning, the timeless broadcast period of time. But while you may have thought, hey, these are strong players, what does that make Space Station? Like, they just look like the top of the top, and they might not even be the best team in their bracket, but they are playing games like they are, K-Wing. And to me, that's all that matters. Space Station 3-0 today. If you are on this bracket, if you're going to play against them next, you're scared. You have to be ready for them. And you can see the bracket right here. Space Station winning their first match, gonna be going against the winner of Bubble Spray Check versus Team Peps. And then you have Oblivione, just as we were mentioning. They've shared games, they've exchanged blows against Sheer Cold before, versus ROC Esports and Twisted Minds. We have to remember, during one of the earlier EU contenders stages, the best team. Like, easily every single match they played was not even close.
Yeah, Twisted Minds is one of those teams that if anyone can take it to Space Station, if anyone can really bring it home, I believe in Twisted Minds. One of the longest contenders winning streaks in EU contenders. I think they ended up at second only to British Hurricane, if you're old enough to remember that. By the way, if you're old enough to remember that, you can claim your free orthopedic back brace by hitting ! I'm so old, I remember British Hurricane. That is fake, of course, and a joke. Please don't actually do that and demand an orthopedic back brace. But still, Twisted Minds are dominant, is my point. When I get back from the complete tangent, Twisted Minds are very dominant. They're scary to see, and against Team Ents, as we see that quick pickup that happened, I think, like this morning. That is no longer Bubba Spray Check. It is Ents now, as Ents has picked up that team. and completely rebranded them. So a new team struggling on the official stream 2-0.
Right. It's just Team Peps is definitely one of those teams that you have to watch out for. If you've been following the EU contenders, it definitely pays off because a lot of these teams are just right from there, and they were definitely showing what they were all about. Team Peps and Twisted Minds definitely come to mind as some of the highlights, but that does not leave XWB behind. And what Sheer Cold might bring to the table on the losers bracket, K-Wing, you might have lost today, but that doesn't mean that it's the end. You have another chance to show what you're able to do. Spacestation, however, moving on to semifinals, that's a team to watch out for. That's a team that you have to, what you saw today, it will happen again most likely. And whatever happens in between ENCE and Peps, you should definitely go watch that official stream, because this bracket is one worthy of following to the bitter nth, K-Wing. I'm excited to see what they're able to do. So definitely don't miss out on this, because we have a lot more action coming. This is as good as Overwatch gets for a little while, trust me, and it's really good.
Oh, sure. Yeah. We're going to be going to a quick break as we sort out exactly who's going to be covering what between us and the official stream. We're going to be covering one of the lower bracket games, so going to be incredibly exciting. And when I say we, Biscuit, I mean someone completely different. I mean, we're going to be getting in some different casters from BPL. So we're showing some new talent. We're showing a lot of talent in the Overwatch scene for the players. We're showing some talent in the broadcast space, in the tier 3 zone from BPL. So we're going to get Jace and Geo on the mic. So don't go anywhere. Don't change the Twitch channel, because we'll be right back with more Overwatch Champions Series action, going to the lower bracket with some new faces. So we'll see you shortly.